We are in full effect.
Here on Raina Teas.
Yes, ready to go in.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. So, the topic tonight, okay? Do not count on your partner being monogamous. Don't do it. Don't set up that expectation. Don't, oh, bitch, what? Really?
She's still alive.
Okay, she better be. Can we see the girls that are here or not?
Let me.
We're going to continue, girl.
Yeah, just keep.
But that subject, of liberating yourself from having that expectation that can inevitably lead to a disappointment, a setback, that you placed your trust in another person to be monogamous in a relationship. You don't own any fucking body. You don't own people. We can't project our expectations and our moral ethic code values onto other people. Motherfuckers are going to do what they want.
Mm-hmm.
So, I come upon this because I was looking around and I know this is kind of unrelated to even the subject at hand, but I often come across these discussions of what's appropriate for your partner to do. Like, oh, ladies, would you allow your man to do XYZ or look like XYZ? And oh, fellas, are you okay with seeing your woman XYZ? And it's like, would you allow your man to? It kind of gives off this vibe of possession and obsession of wanting to control another person's will. And regardless of these vows, and regardless of these promises, people are still fucking human. Mm-hmm. And they want to fuck.
Yes.
They want to cheat. They want to do taboo, kinky, dirty fucking shit.
Yes.
We all keep it tucked away. We all fucking touch ourselves.
Yes. Yes, we do.
To the fantasy of a fucking another. Like, sexuality itself is in hyperspace. It's coming away from the binary norms. A fucking bitch poly, the girls are promoting polyamory. Yeah, like polyamorous relationships, open relationships, and talking about the health of it.
What is the health of it?
The health of it is
allegedly,
right? Hello. The health of it is that it alleviates the sense of, like, you kind of give your ego a break on trying to control someone else. Because you can't. Like, people are going to cheat.
Yeah, they are going to.
The applications that allow us to connect, bitch.
It can happen, but the thing is, what do you do when it happens? Do you deal with it? Do you, speak with this person and you guys walk through it and get past it?
It's obviously dependent on the situation. Don't you agree?
Yeah. I definitely agree.
Like, it's something different from dating, the levels of dating or initially talking to someone, to a long-term commitment. And the variations in between, you just can't even, like, put such a box on the circumstance.
But do you think these days, is it easier for people to forgive cheating early in the relationship? Or do you think that walking away? Like, what do you think?
I think you can tell the sort of red flags of a habitual cheater, a person who objectifies people, you know,
Yeah,
as sexual beings, and just sort of that's all they're about. Like, actions and
yeah,
behavior speak louder than words. If you're dealing with somebody who's, bitch, they got a million fucking apps on their phone, you know,
yeah,
they're really hot and popular on social media, it's just very much likely that they're carrying on other relationships.
yeah. They
And
are.
they low key are entitled to that.
Yeah,
They are. We
yeah.
all are.
Absolutely, absolutely.
We can't.
But there's probably are people out there who may be in the same frequency as you, who feel the same way that you do, and you'll be able to connect with them in that way. You know, as far as like, I feel like there has to be somebody out there that feels the same way that we do. You know, that wants to be in a relationship, that wants to be with just you. You know, and be with you and fall in love with you and be with you for the rest of your life, possibly. You know, unless something happens, but like to experience some sort of happiness with you. There has to be.
Very few of the
But in the
percentage
7
of
billion,
people,
but
right?
there has to be.
Very few.
Even if there's 30 in the whole planet, that's still a lot.
Love is
You
a
know,
lot to call upon. Love is a lot to call upon. Like, it's
it's the experience. I feel it's just that.
for the experience, the person has to be oriented towards
That's
that.
all you can hope for, is the experience of the moment. But what happens in time is just what happens. But what that person gives you in that instant of the feeling and carrying it on, you know, and how long it goes of the
Yeah.
feeling, like, you can't, you know, that is what we strive for, is that. And how long can, you know, you hold it with that person, you know? And I feel like, I don't know, a part of me, even if I'm 60 and 70 and I'm still by myself, I will still, some part of me will still hold on to like that,
Of course, that's
you
just human
know?
nature.
Yeah,
We will all want for companionship and
of
kind of
course,
like,
you know? So it's like, you know, I don't know if I'm by myself, like, because if
bitch, no. But guess what? Guess what? The truth of the fact of the matter is, we all have to
we all
accept
have to accept.
that aspect of
We
a
do, we
possibility and be okay
do.
with that shit.
Yeah,
You know,
we do. And that is a consequence of people not wanting to be monogamous, if of people wanting to
monogamy
live.
is a
It
choice.
is a choice. It
It's
is
a
a choice. It's a choice
choice.
between two people. And, you know, you just have, I don't know. It's not, everybody's
And
not
you
gonna,
cannot project that onto
yeah, you
everyone
can't.
else,
Because
because you're gonna
that's
get
your
hurt.
idea. Yeah, because
You're
that's
gonna
your
get hurt,
idea. Like, it's like
right?
I said, you be creating that own world inside yourself. You create a whole person of who you expect this bae to be, and
Mm-hmm.
that's you, because you're making the idea of that person. You're the one that's like creating what he should be, you know.
And it's
When this
never really
person
person.
is a
Yeah,
whole
it's
other
not.
person with their own mind, who's in a whole different, you know, arena. You're not even like, can't even, you know, fathom what this person's mind frame is towards you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not what you think in your head. So it's like you fall in love with your own idea of what you think is out there in the world that might not even be a possibility for you, you know?
Mm.
And it's just crazy. And that's sad. It's sad.
It is a tragic.
It's
It's a
tragic.
tragic.
It's tragic.
It's. You have to give
It's
it what it is,
tragic.
because all of us will lose it. All of us
Yeah.
will grow to a point where
We have to find strength. We have to find strength in
but we have to also find strength within ourselves, because,
yeah.
like, bitch, at the end of the day, you have to take what you deserve and no motherfucking less.
Yeah.
If it bothers you that you're dealing with someone who isn't on that same frequency and has that same value towards an interpersonal relationship, then you have to make the choice
Hmm.
of, are you going to deal with that?
Yeah. You know, it's like that Don Richard song, bitch, I choose me at the end of the
Yeah,
day, you know.
absolutely.
I love you, but I love me more. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's like at the end of the day, like, I have to choose me. So my thing is, try to get your life your life, like you as an individual,
Mm-hmm.
your personal happiness, try to strive
Mm-hmm.
for that. So
Mm-hmm.
where you're good, you know what I'm saying? And relationships and things like that are a side thing.
It
You know what I'm
is.
saying?
You have
Make
to
sure
get
that
to
you
that
are
point.
good, that you are okay, that you, yeah, that your life is good, you know, that you have that to fall back on. You know what I'm saying? That my life is good, you know, that I'm doing okay. And you know what I'm
It's you
saying?
first. It's
It's
you
you
first
first.
because
It's
you
you
cannot
first.
count on people. You can, and it's
It's
sad
you
to
first.
say, but you cannot trust.
Yeah.
You cannot trust. You cannot count on people. They will let you down. And I know that's such a pessimistic cup
Yeah.
to take about the real world. But if you don't accept it, it will be proven to you time and time again. And it's like, why even put your heart through that if it's not for you?
Mm.
If you can be open to that with your partner and work towards a sense of not having a detachment from ideals of possession and projection and idealism about your partner that may not exist in their head, and not taking it personally, because bitch, like, a motherfucker cheat and you take it personally, you're kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
what the fuck did I not do? You know, what's going on that I have not given, and for it to be taken to granted. So that's understood. That's just natural. But you have to still take that step back into your own personal reality and acknowledge that you can't hold anybody to that standard anymore.
Mm-mm.
It's just too accessible out here
Yeah.
for all of us to fuck each other and trust. To dingle down, bitch. Balls, ass play. Everyone's into every fucking thing at this point.
Yes.
And we like to play hush hush about it. You know? Get your fucking life. It's hard though. And there's a lot of crazy shit going on out here too.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not advising to get caught up. But you need to have like 4, 5 other eggs in the motherfucking basket with these motherfuckers. Fuck that. Play these motherfuckers, you know? Have your shit, because you get
Yeah.
your emotions caught up in one person, and I'm telling you, they cut you cold. And it's not to sound like bitter, it's just like the reality. And I guess the reality can be bitter, honey. Like, she has her 4 seasons. Bitterness
Yes.
is part of just the cycle,
Mm-hmm.
the inevitable. But you cannot count on people to do that. Not nowadays. Give it to yourself. Liberate yourself. Ask yourself what you want and what you're willing to tolerate in these relationships, especially if you've been in a situation where it's habitual and it's detrimental to your self-worth, your self-confidence, your mental health, your spiritual well-being, these toxic relationships
Mm-hmm.
with these narcissistic, empathy-less individuals. There are lessons in those things. It's hard. It's hard as hell to deal with.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of that, that concept, that personification, the narcissist, is seemingly um the overwhelming majority. Have you noticed that people have become so self-absorbed? They're more becoming less. We pass by people all the time and we don't even like acknowledge or speak or like
Mm-hmm.
give people a person's over. Oh my God, I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to touch that. I don't want to say, that's none of my business. How often do we say that? So we're continuously teaching ourselves to be detached and objectify each other. Objectify each other to only show interest, usually when we're sexually or somehow familiar, attracted to another person. There's a familiarity there.
Mm-hmm.
It's not always sexual, but it's the psychology of it. Like you're going to be, a person looks friendly or warm or whatever your concept is of a of an appealing person.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're going to give more of your energy to. And we deal with that on a regular basis.
Jay.
So even you yourself will come to a point where you will step out on the fucking relationship, and you are entitled to, if you feel it, and it's like, okay, are we promoting cheating? Are we promoting adultery? Adultery is the shaming of sexual liberation.
Yes.
It is the shaming tactic used to bind and control. That shit doesn't fucking exist. Nature doesn't have no fucking adultery. The ghosts are laying eggs. Seasonal.
By random motherfuckers.
By seasonal. It goes back to the core of primal instinctual, just the sexuality being the prowess for our evolutionary progression. It's life. So these imposed sort of concepts about holding that standard of monogamy and unified and vows and that, no. don't even like believe, don't even try it. Don't. You have to decide, is that something that you want to have and be a part of? What do you think about it? I'm like going and rambling.
I mean, I think it's like, what are you willing to deal with? Like, if you don't expect your partner to be monogamous, then are you willing to be with that person and allow them to cheat? So just be, you guys dealing with each other, and it's funny because Shannon Boodram, she is in an open relationship with her man. And they communicate, like if they're into somebody or whatever, like they don't.
It can work for some people.
So, but the part is like the secrets. I feel like that is what messes things up, is not being honest and not being upfront.
Yeah.
If you're going to step out or you're going to do that, just say it. Maybe just have that upfront communications. Always have communication open. That's the best thing. Relationships are about communication. So if this is what is going to be your new normal or new reality, then you guys just have to have everything on the fucking table.
Yeah, and people shouldn't be getting defensive about having it as a conversation. Getting defensive and wanting to advocate for keeping secrets and being sly about it, especially when they're trying your intelligence. Come on. Especially when you know what the fuck is going on. So you were saying.
Yeah, about just the communication aspect. I feel like that's the only way that it could work. if you guys communicate and have it open and just say if there's ever a person that I'm just very attracted to that I just want to, pursue and do something with, I will let you know and we can talk about it, and
What do you guys think? What do you guys think? What is the tea right now? Well, it's nobody with us. So it's like,
yeah, we're just talking,
it's a key. It's a key.
Yeah. But it's just crazy, I just don't know. I hope that, I meet someone who wants to be in a monogamous relationship and, that's just in my mind. That's, my
You
own
just have to get what you can get
world.
nowadays, quite honestly.
I just at least hope to meet someone, spark some sort of interest with someone that is giving me my life,
Right.
That's what I want. I want some sort of attraction with someone. I want someone to come for me, someone to seek me out, someone to, like be interested, like, to be there. That's how it's maintained. This person reaching out for you, you reaching out for them and them being there and you guys experiencing things together. I mean, that's all I can hope for. What happens after and all of that, that's life. But just having that human contact, these experiences, and just seeing them as that, seeing them as life experiences with other humans, with their own minds and their own worlds, their own experiences, their
Mm-hmm.
own
Mm-hmm.
shit, their own fuckery, um, yeah, their own just whatever. And you have to deal with that, this whole other person. So, do you think maybe people have to be careful of who, I mean, or you can't help it, who this person is that you fall in love with?
You're gonna fall for a few mistakes, and you have to be okay with that. You have to acknowledge that about yourself, that through life you might find yourself in relationships with it's not bad people, but toxic, or maybe not even toxic, but just relationships that don't work
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
And it's about learning the form, the sense of detachment,
yeah,
learning the sense of not taking it personally if it doesn't work out, not letting it be a reflection on you, and having a standard. Bitch,
yeah,
have a fucking standard. Like, demand a fucking standard. Like, fuck all those no's. A motherfucker tell you no 100 times until you're gonna find your gem.
yeah. And you know what? If you end up that you don't find it, you're gonna have to be okay.
Yeah,
You're gonna
that's
have to be oh fucking okay. Set up your life, work on you, have you right. Have you right.
this hag is spitting some tea, isn't she?
Yes.
We're coming
Have
through,
you
hag.
right. Yes. Have you right. Okay. So that you're sitting, so that you're good. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck all of that,
Yeah.
Fuck all of that. Like, it's, yeah, you have to be your priority. You know what I'm saying? Um, but it's your choice what you want to accept. And you know what? I feel like it's okay whatever you do as long as you're not getting harmed or hurt, as long as he or she is not beating your ass, or whatever. But if you feel like you still have to fight for it, then do it. If you feel like you still want to deal with this person, even though they cheated on you, and whatever, I don't know. Like, and if you feel like you have to be with this person still, like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, life is, girl, chase what you need to chase. Get what you need to get. Like, if you're passionate about it, then get it, girl. Like, you know what I'm saying? For real. You know, follow your heart, honestly. And if your heart is telling you to go after this motherfucker, even though, you know, he's no good or whatever,
Give me
girl,
a
I don't
reading. Give a
know.
reading, bitch. Give a reading, ho. Let's break out these goddamn tarot cards for these kids.
Which one you want?
Okay, in case you didn't know, that's why the hag is here, honey.
Yes.
We're witches. We are.
Oop, the tears out. The cat is out of the bag. The cat's out of the bag.
We are practitioners.
Are we?
Of the shadows.
Yes. Yes, we are.
Thank you guys for tuning in. If you are, because we're here, honey. We are here and we are rambling. Now, okay, so the cat's out the bag. We're witches and we're gonna do a tarot reading live on this bitch. Okay? So if you are getting in, you're gonna be getting some real deep tea. Some real deep tea. And tea is basically
we could crack her.
Let's see what she got. Let's see what she got. So we're gonna use Miss Cleo's tarot. Miss Cleo. This whole trying to go.
I know we should have given Miss Cleo. But it's, look, I don't like how it kind of gave me. You see how she's kind of like a little bit bent.
I did kind of notice that a little bit with my deck too.
Let me see. Like she's giving me like if you hold her, like she's giving me like a little bit.
A little bit. Like, it's not that bad. We're talking about the card stock right now. We're talking about the card stock, and we're tarot nerds. Also, by the way, going into this whole relationship dynamic. So we'll see what the cards have to say about relationships. How about that? For Raina T's, the jump off.
Yes.
For Raina T's. Here. You can do the honors. Okay. So my friend's going to shuffle or just turning over right away.
Okay.
And we'll see what we got. Bitch, and I knew this card was gonna come out. I knew that card was gonna come out. And this one. This is the one I was looking for. Oh, you just lay her out? She wasn't even really shuffled.
Oh, she wasn't?
No,
I thought you shuffled her.
I just kind of like played around. I just kind of like threw her a couple of times.
No. So you want me to shuffle her again?
Well, I mean, she's giving numerological too much, so she needs a good shuffle. This is a new deck.
Shuffle her.
This is a new deck, you guys. So,
well, you know what? I'll shuffle her while you ask me the question.
She needs a really good shuffle because she just came out the box. And these tarot cards, you have to imbue her with energy.
So you want me to do my other deck then?
Yes, please. Okay. Get the other one because she's too new right now. She's not ready. She's not ready for her prime time.
Yeah. I'll get that other girl.
So, sex and magic. How about that? Fucking sex and magic. Huh. Sex is a part of magic. It is the universal language of consecration. It binds souls. It leaves imprints. And it carries demons.
Yes.
Demons. Yes, that's right. If you're letting them just lay all into you and everyone else, they're carrying. They're carrying these essence of other people on them. A habitual cheater will just always cheat. It's not even, it's like cheating would make it seem like, you know, their approach to it is that it's bad, but it's them. It's their own personal choice. So I think we're going to ask the cards to give us a reading. On relationships. You better work. They give me very Pirates of the Caribbean. They do. The whole setup of us chilling here.
Yeah. I guess you can tell me when to stop.
Yeah, bitch, whenever you're ready. The kids are ready. And this card came up again. And this deck, this was another deck, and this deck was shuffled, and we have a reversal. Okay. So, let's talk about tarot. Let's talk about these tarot cards. And the devil.
Yeah.
The devil.
You know this deck.
The devil.
This deck right here.
So the first card is the Nine of Swords. So go ahead and tell them about Miss Nine.
Well, the Nine of Swords, this is a card that can symbolize nightmares, terrors, fears, you know, insecurities, things that are keeping you up, things that you're worried about, that you're focused on, that something that's not sitting well with you, something that you're just very
mentally distracted by.
Yeah.
Mentally distraction.
Yeah.
And anxiety, you know, provoking anxiety and paranoia.
Yeah, and it's things that you're creating in your own mind, you know, your fears that are made even worse by your, you know, illusions, you know, the mind. The swords are about the mental. So it's your own creations about things that are worrying you, that are happening in your life, you know. So this about relationships, you know, it is about being worried about somebody,
then,
you know, creating these
paranoia
of this happening.
Open relationships that happen in emotionally unexclusive relationships.
Definitely.
People often feel that their partners are cheating. So that's what that card is about.
It is.
So the next card.
But you know what? What if that's manifesting? Like you're thinking about it or you're creating it?
But I mean, it exists even on its own without like the manifestation. Like people are going to habitually do. Human beings are just gonna do what they can get away with.
I guess it's just about accepting. It's about accepting it.
Get to the rest of the reading, though.
Well, go ahead.
Okay, so the next card is the Six of Pentacles.
And what do you see with that?
Now, the Six of Pentacles represent Earth, and they also go in about asking and receiving. And in the original Rider-Waite, because we're looking at a different deck. So Rider-Waite is the original Rider-Waite-Smith, and it speaks about the poor. It depicts the poor asking the rich for money and receiving it. So I think this card oftentimes asks us to acknowledge what will be more prosperous for us in our lives and to ask for that. What is beneficial, what is good, you know, understanding what to be grateful for in our lives instead of possibly going back to these types of relationship where you're the codependent. Like you need that other person to give you that life. Like in the depiction of her person asking for coins and receiving it from the rich person. It's like they're begging. They're begging. So that person holds a sense of power over you. And you're constantly begging for that life. You're begging for that non-existent connection or relationship. So what do you see?
I definitely feel like this card does symbolize the codependency. because it is about kind of keeping that cycle of money, and a lot of times in relationships, especially people who are married, um, who have things to lose,
Mm-hmm.
especially women, there is a lot of dependency on the man. So a lot of times you will stay in a relationship with someone because of money, because you don't have enough money to leave him, the lifestyle that you have with him. I guess you're gonna have to overlook the cheating or whatever because you on your own cannot make the amount of money that he's making. So it's kind of like you're gonna have to put up with it or whatever. So a lot of times, these are things that you have to just deal with. So the Six of Pentacles, I kind of feel like is symbolizing that cycle of you giving and having to take. And that's just what it is. It is a cycle, and money is involved in a lot of relationships. A lot of relationships, money is definitely an issue, especially if the man is making more money or all the money, and he's cheating on the woman, okay, and having babies out here, getting these street whores pregnant, you know, and you're just dealing with these women calling you, coming to your house, you know, just creating drama, and you didn't set up anything for yourself, you're just having to deal with this man. So, and you're gonna stay. That's what our grandparents. That's the kind of lives that they had. A
Yeah.
lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
That old school thing when people stayed. Um, women would get abused. My grandmother. She like her husband. He used to push her. He would become drunk come drunk home to her, and he would be mean and like, and now his ass can't even fucking walk, and she's the one taking care. Like, she could beat your ass, but look, you did all that to her. You were an asshole to her,
Right.
and she's the one taking care of your ass that can't walk. You can't even walk to piss. You know what I'm saying? So it's just what you're willing to deal with. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this is the Six of Pentacles. Now, the next card is the Goal or Destiny, and it's the Two of Swords. And this is, I guess, it's going to be always some sort of conflict. People, it's always going to be black and white. It's always going to be yes and no, right and wrong. It's always going to be a fight. It's always going to be
Mm-hmm.
some sort of conflict.
Internally within
Yeah.
yourself.
And even in relationships, a lot of times,
Absolutely.
people, a lot of times, people don't, you can't agree. They when you say yes, they say no. When you say up, they say down. It's always some sort of like contest. It's never okay. It's always some sort of like conflict a lot of times. And
It's just tension, a lot
yeah,
of tension.
because it's different
And
people.
see, some relationships just deteriorate over that course. Sometimes it just gets to that point, like what's divided will fall. And if you guys are in a relationship where you're divided and you're kind of like just there being divisive against each other to piss each other off, what the fuck can survive on that? You know? What could survive? So go ahead, continue with misreading.
So the next card is the Distant Past Foundation, and it's the Knight of Pentacles. And in the distant past, the Knight of Pentacles, I don't want to like, you know, I guess look at this as for me, but the Knight of Pentacles, I see this as, people, this is people's desires,
Mm-hmm.
people's desires for what they want. You know, at a young age, we create this illusion, this fantasy of what we want. We want to plant these seeds like, I want this type of life. I want this type of relationship. I want to meet this
Mm-hmm.
person at this age. I want to experience these things, at this point. And a lot of times you get to these points and you don't experience it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? So I kind of feel
Mm-hmm.
like this card symbolizes, um, in the distant past, trying to, the ideas of what you wanted, as far as like prosperity, as far as like, a family, a relationship, some sort of stability foundation, that you and this person are living in a house and paying bills together and setting up a future for each other, and just having that life, you kind of think that that's the kind of life, that you feel like you might have when you like graduate high school, and you just kind of, that type of thing. But, so I kind of feel like that, that's kind of what we're sold. That's kind of what we're given. Like, yeah, you're gonna get married, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, that's the kind of life that's promoted. But the reality is that, that's not the reality. You know, that whole marriage thing and being with one person, we put in this investment for it. But when we grow up and learn through our experiences in our lives in our 20s and stuff, in our years of adulthood, when we get to, you know, um, be adults and meet people and, get in relationships and catch feelings and, experience all of that. Like,
That's tricky waters in and of itself.
yeah. So the next card is the
Seven of Chalices, which Chalices talks about waters, emotions, feelings, relationships. And this card coincides exactly with what the card, the following card, I mean, the card that was before, it was going in about, because that card was about projections. And see, this is an emotional projection because there's so many different fantasies that you've kind of constructed in your mind about how things are supposed to be in relationships that you kind of don't know what is real and what isn't anymore. You're like still finding your way through the fog of it all. Because it's a lot of fog, it's a lot of uncertainty, and it's just so many options. And I think people go through that all the time within life. Like there's just so many options, and some more pressing than others emotionally.
Okay, so
what about you? What do you think about the Seven of
Chalices? Yeah, I mean, this definitely in the recent past, this is kind of like not knowing, like you kind of like not knowing what decision to make. Like, should I be with this person? Should I not? Should I stay with them? Should I just have sex with them? Should I just, should I not tell them this? Should I tell them? All of these different decisions, not kind of like, and being stagnant, not wanting to move forward. Looking at all the pros and cons, of everything, you know, um, not knowing whether to leave or to stay and wanting to stay, but kind of like, it's all of these conflicting emotions. The Seven of Chalices is conflicting emotions, having everything at the same time and nothing at all. Okay. That is what the Seven of Chalices is.
Absolutely.
And that's what's been going on. A lot of you out there have been feeling this way and have been going through this, but you know what? It's okay. It's just part of life. You just have to experience it and don't feel bad about it. I mean, you're going to feel bad about it, of course, because, this person is putting you through it or whatever.
Absolutely.
And all of that, but don't feel bad about the feelings that you're feeling. Just feel them. That's all you can do is feel them, but don't beat yourself up for feeling that way. You just have to go through it because you're dealing with it. So the next card is the Future Influence, and it's the Five of Pentacles.
And I believe this card is an indicator of some of you out there that are allowing yourselves to be leached by these certain individuals in certain relationships. that are narcissistic and abusive in design, very masochist. And they're eating away at your coin, they're eating away at your energy, they're eating away at your time.
Mm-hmm.
You've already given so much.
Yes.
You've already sacrificed
Yes.
so much
Mm-hmm.
of yourself.
Yes. Put yourself on the line for this person.
And it's not a the depiction of it is as a monster who's eating coins.
Yeah. And somebody laid out, somebody laid out, gotta get up, trying to, it's like, girl, you falling out, you know? Yeah, hard times.
Hard times. The struggle is
The
real.
struggle is, this is what this card
That's
is.
what this card
The struggle
is.
is real. This person, yeah, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel it. That's what this card is. You're gonna feel it. Like that distant past, which was that Knight of Pentacles. You had all them seeds, honey. The reality is, honey, it did not prosper. Them seeds did not grow.
They didn't.
Yeah. You planted them seeds, girl, but no. She's dry. It did not grow. I remember in second grade when I planted, they gave us like a plastic cup and planted a seed, and my shit grew upside down. Like I placed it upside down and shit like grew out, and I feel like that's just my life, it's just she has to go like, she don't come out like this. The bitch has to go out. I put her the wrong way, honey. She's just, I'll never forget that shit. So, yeah, you try to plant these seeds, but you just don't know if they are gonna grow, if they're not. A lot of times, you put these your own dreams and fantasies and aspirations on other people, and yeah, it just doesn't come through how you want it to. That's what it is. Yeah, so the next card is the Devil card. And this is a card about
addiction,
and you know what, like, and about it being what it is, honey. You still love this person. You still want to be with this person. You still are obsessed with them. You still want to be with them. You're still latched onto them. You still want to be bound. You still want them to just chokehold you and pound you. Okay, chokehold you and pound you into infinity to give it to you. You still want it. You still want it. That's what this card symbolizes.
That is the devil. That is the devil. That is so good.
Yeah, you still want it. You give it to me. Fuck me up, fam. Fuck me up, fam. Just
take me through it one more time to feel alive. To remind me that I'm fucking here, bitch. To electrocharge my vortex. My core.
Yeah,
That's the root.
Yeah.
That's the root chakra.
Yeah.
And the sacral chakra energies.
Yeah, you're still bound. You guys are bound. I mean, you guys, you've been with this person, you have given yourself to them. You have, you guys are bound. You guys are bound to each other, and the devil symbolizes the root. That's what you guys are bound to. Is that spirit, that you guys are latched, honey. It's that web. You guys are in that web, and once you're in the web, you can't get out. So yeah, it is what it is, you know. It is what this is the reality. Feelings are complex,
Absolutely.
you know.
Emotions are complex.
Yeah.
It's a figure out as you go process.
Mhm.
And you just deal with it day by day.
Yeah.
That's all you can do.
Mhm. Absolutely.
So what's the next
So the
card?
next card is the King of Pentacles. And I feel like this card is saying that, you know what? You could still don't lose hope. You know, even after all of this, even after, yeah, you know, you done, you know, put the hopes and aspirations in the past and they did not come through. Okay, you know, but you still have it. I feel like the King of Pentacles is saying, don't give up. You know, I feel like this what this card is saying is it's still there. You know, you still have it in you. As far as for yourself, is you know,
Mm-hmm.
give it for yourself. This is the card about you self mastery. You know,
Mm-hmm.
self like grow your business, be about your business, be
Mm-hmm.
about you. You know what I'm saying? Fuck, like like these emotions, these niggas doesn't pay no money, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you need to be out here making it. You know, this needs to be like plan B, okay? Plan A is you getting you, and B is relationships, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But never, it never needs to be your world. You can never make a man or a woman your world. You know, where you rely on them. You know, where they are the ones that are calling the shot on everything. You know, especially, you know, it just reminds me of like people who are married. You know, people who, um, where one person is the one that is cheating, and they are the ones that are making the income or whatever. They're the ones that are, you know, a lot of times it's the woman that's dependent on the man, and he's out there cheating and having kids by other women and things like that, and she's not making enough money to leave him and be on her own, so she needs to be with him and forgive him, and go through all of the emotions or whatever, but eventually still stay with him, still make it work, okay.
Mm-hmm.
um, just because she's dependent on him and she just does not, you know it's just what a lot of women, I mean, there are probably men out there too or whatever, but whatever. So anyway, yeah, the King of Pentacles is about you need to get on top of your game and do you and develop yourself and get your money up, get you up where you are good at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Um, that's what I feel like this card symbolizes. Um, the next card is the inner emotion, and it's the Hermit card, but it's reversed. And I kind of feel like the Hermit reversed. Um, I feel like this card is saying that, a part of you is looking, a part of you is coming out of your shell,
Mm-hmm.
out, to want to peer out there and see what else is out there. But I feel like it's very light. It's not, it's kind of like you're lighting the lamp a little bit to see in the darkness, like what's peeping out there, but you still are to yourself, you know. But it's you desiring. I feel like it's you reaching out. The Hermit upside down, I feel like it's you wanting. You still, part of you still wants this. Part of you still wants, desires that idea, that accompany that person to accompany you in the dark, in your journey. Um, that's what I feel like that card symbolizes. And the final card is the Knight of Wands, and I feel like that's the card that's saying that you're still gonna have the passion in you, the drive in you, the fire in you. You're still gonna have the fire. That fire is never gonna leave you. Okay, you're still gonna have that fire. You're still gonna want. You know, you're still gonna want that want. Okay, you're still gonna want. This is a card about excitement, about just drive and just enthusiasm and just, you know, having strong desires.
Virility
Yeah,
too.
you know. So,
Sexual
yeah,
potency.
this is a card about you. You know, you're always going to have that fire in you, that desire. Um, it's always gonna be there. You know, you're gonna be in some sort of situation with somebody. Okay, whatever it is, yeah, there's gonna be passion behind it. But it's up to you how you want to deal with it. You know, and should you stay with this person, you know, don't count on your partner to be monogamous. I mean, you know, it's whatever standards you want to make. But if
You
if
have to have you right.
yeah, and you have to be okay with being alone at the end of the day. If that's what it is, if what you require in your life is monogamy, if you're not gonna, you know, if you're not gonna like not take it, if monogamy has to be what it is, like if you're not willing to compromise at all, you're not having it. If it's not monogamy, it's nothing. Then you have to be okay with being alone. So get that King of Pentacles, get your life together, you know, be comfortable so you can be alone but be happy where you have everything you need. You're not missing for nothing, you're not struggling, you're not, you know, 70 years old and, you know, don't have next month's rent, you know, where you're comfortable, where you are happy, where you are just content, you know, and not in any type of fear of anything, you know. It won't even be, yeah, like you just need to be good. You just need to be good, okay? That's what's important because yeah, you need to have some sort of security by the time you are a elder, okay? You know what I'm saying? Because only you can do that for yourself, nobody else. You know what I'm saying? So you have to get your shit right. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's what the fuck it is out here. So fuck these niggas. Get your money, get your shit right, and this they will be secondary. They will be secondary, okay? Always have your stuff right. Always have your accounts, you know what I'm saying? If you're gonna get married with this person, if you're going to be, you know, living with this person, um, you know, having kids with this person, you know, yeah, just always be secure in you because you can't rely. You really can't. You were born alone and you're going to die alone. Even if the person is holding your hand in your last breath, even if they're holding you and hugging you, you know, which is probably the best way to go, to be honest. Probably the best. I think that's the best way to die is your loved one holding you like a baby as your last breath. Yeah, that's I think the best way you could ever leave. You know, but even then you're gonna be alone because they're still on earth and you're dead. So you know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to be okay with you know, and at the end of the day, like you're gonna be, you know, when you're gone, it's just you know, and who knows, that's an eternity of who knows what, that it may just be you know?
Absolutely.
So yeah, this life, oh my God, we just this life, you know? Yeah.
Are you done?
Hmm.
I'll be done.
Do you want to?
Yeah.
Okay.